get all the gloom and doom about African Americans, but we're always in worse shape than the economy, so whatever you heard about the economy is like triple for African Americans. I decided not to list all the specific statistics, whether for us nationally or for you guys here in Grand Rapids, but you know there's growing economic inequality, and perhaps it will get worse, or maybe I shouldn't have said perhaps, but it'll get worse in the next 4 years. We know that the last recovery was pretty much a jobless recovery, and as was said at the beginning, it was a recovery mostly for the top people, right? They recovered, the rest of us never really recovered.
How do we get resources into the hands of the Miss Susies of the world, the Miss Susies of Grand Rapids, to make change and to organize community?
I view this as a systematic issue because we need to have the right people in these places making the decisions in order, and I'm speaking strictly from a fund development perspective, to get those dollars back into the community and have the people who live there have some say in what's going on, because ultimately most folks don't. You can give $100 to X charity, but then you really don't have any say-so on what happens with that, with those dollars, generally speaking.
I think the one thing that's missing, and it's not something that's just occurring here in Grand Rapids, is this lack of connectivity that really gets to the point of, it really doesn't matter who's up front and who's in back, who's the spokesperson and who's not. Until we get to a place where we can realize it really doesn't matter, right? I think we're going to continue to have the struggle that we have.
I think that what he was saying is that we need to empower young people. And I think a lot of times we think of young people as in like in elementary school or middle school or in high school, but what about young professionals, right? Or young people that's in their 20s and their early 30s, right? So whether it be in business, whether it be in politics, whatever it is, we have to pull someone along with us, and that is something that is not happening at the level that it needs to.
The economic quagmire is the word I'll use for the black community and the brown community for that matter here in this city, is not just because people aren't going out and working hard and looking for opportunity. We have to be honest with ourselves and say people are being excluded from opportunities. We have to be honest and say that banks aren't financing African American businesses. They'll give you $30,000 for a car loan, but if you want $10,000 or $5,000 for a business, and I just came from Fifth Third, that's why I was a little bit late getting another business started. There's all the scrutiny in the world for that access to capital.
We need to push back on systems that are not respecting us as people. So if that means not going to the same restaurant that you go to all the time, not going to the same church, not going to the same school institutions, push back if they're not meeting your needs. And so if they don't have board members that look like you, if they don't have people at the executive levels that do not look like you, stop supporting. And those small boycotts will start sending the messages.